People didn't believe in the tank. But I must say, the tank is in full effect. The Knicks are in a very lucky position, man. Like, this is a crazy amount of luck that the Knicks have right now. I mean, think about it. When Porzingis was still playing with the Knicks, we had a chance to make the playoffs. The Knicks had a chance to make the playoffs with Porzingis in the lineup. And ever since the Knicks lost Porzingis in that game versus the Bucks, the Knicks have only won one game since then. Now, there's a lot of people hating on Porzingis a couple weeks back before, you know, the All-Star break, comparing Porzingis to Embiid, how Embiid was better than Porzingis and all that. It doesn't really matter to me. But you see the effects of not having Porzingis. I mean, they only won once. They've only won once. I mean, listen. The Knicks, I'm telling you right now, has a very high chance at getting a top 5 pick. If not top 5, maybe even top 6. You know, top 6 seems most likely. But they have a chance at getting a top 5 pick because the Knicks might actually lose every single game for the rest of the season. Now, 2 games ago, you know, the Knicks just lost to the Sixers last night. They blew that lead in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. And the night before that, again, 2 games before that, they faced the Mavericks. Now, Mavericks didn't have Wesley Matthews. Dennis Smith Jr., another rookie, shot 6 of 19. The Knicks actually looked like they had control of that game until the third quarter, and they collapsed. And again, they lost the game. They lost to the Mavericks. And I mean, when you think about the Knicks, I mean, they got Moutier, Ntilikina, Michael Beasley, Cantor, all them cats, and they're still losing. Trey Burke off the bench, Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway, and they still lost that game to Harrison Barnes, Dennis Smith, who shot 6 of 19, Dwight Powell. I mean, Dirk had a couple shots, but come on. They lost to the Mavericks. So the Mavericks are capable of winning games. The Knicks can't win any games with this team. I mean, you got Tim Hardaway, Michael Beasley, Enes Kanter, Courtney Lee, Trey Burke, Moutier, Ntilikina, all them niggas, and they can't find a way to win nothing. Troy Williams, Dwayne Dodson, they can't win no games, man. So Knicks have a couple games left. They got 2 more games versus lottery teams, which is the Bulls and the Magic. Now, the Magic, unfortunately, as you seen in the beginning of the video, the Magic actually beat the Bucks. So the Magic right now are only 3 games behind the Knicks. And if the Magic end up beating the Knicks, they own that tiebreaker. So if the Magic and the Knicks have that same record at the end of the season, the Magic would be a higher seed than the Knicks. That means the Knicks would have a better draft pick, potentially, than the Magic. And the same thing for the Bulls. The Bulls already beat the Knicks 3 times with Porzingis in the lineup. And the Bulls face the Knicks again, this time with probably Zach LaVine, probably Justin Holiday will be back. So the Knicks will probably lose against the Bulls too. And the Bulls are probably going to even win more games than the Knicks anyways. Even if the Knicks beat the Bulls still own the tiebreaker. And the Bulls are probably still going to win more games because the Bulls face more lottery teams. And the Knicks have to face the Cavs twice. They have to face the Bucks. I believe they have to face the Heat. They got to face the Hornets twice. So the Knicks have a whole bunch of teams they have to face that are obviously better than the Knicks, man. And the thing about the Knicks is that the Knicks don't really play that hard. I always tell y'all guys, even if you watch Nets games, the Nets play hard, man. I mean, they were leading against the Sixers, the freaking Raptors. The Nets are a team that plays hard. They play every night. The Knicks don't do that. So when you look at the teams that potentially have a chance of being behind the Knicks in the draft, you got the Mavericks. You got the Kings. They're only 2 games behind the Knicks. Mavericks and Kings both have 22 wins. The Nets have 21 wins. And the Bulls obviously they're going to obviously surpass the Knicks in wins. I mean, the Bulls they play to win. And then you really don't have any other team except the Magic. So the only teams the Knicks have the potential to pass are the Kings, Mavericks, Nets, and Magic. So that's 4 teams right there because the Hawks are not going to really win any more games. And the Grizzlies and the Suns, those teams are just terrible. And it's good to see that the Knicks don't face the Suns, they don't face the Grizzlies. But the other teams, like the Kings and the Mavericks, they face multiple lottery teams. I mean, matter of fact, the Kings and the Mavericks are going to face each other soon. So that means the Kings or the Mavericks are going to have at least 23 wins. And then the Nets face the Mavericks. So that means the Mavericks or Nets are going to have an extra win because they face each other. One of them is going to win that game. And the Nets face the Grizzlies. Now everybody, assuming everybody beats the Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies are terrible. Oh my, that team has nobody on that team. So assuming everybody beats the Grizzlies, if you look at every single one of these teams' records, the Kings, the Mavericks, the Nets, the Bulls, and even the Magic, these teams are going to continue to beat each other to a point that if the Knicks do lose out, one of these teams, or even two or even three of these teams, are going to be behind. They're going to have a better record than the Knicks. And like I said, out of all these teams right here, the Knicks don't own the tiebreaker. They only own the tiebreaker versus the Suns, which doesn't matter because the Suns obviously are going to have a better record. And the Nets, those are the only two teams the Knicks own the tiebreaker against. Every other team, like the Kings and the Mavericks and you know, the freaking the Bulls and the Magic, the Knicks don't even have the tiebreaker one against those teams, man. So even if they have the same record, it's either going to be the Knicks losing that tiebreaker, or they're going to have to do something what they did last year when the Knicks had the same record as the Timberwolves, where they had to choose between both of those teams. So the Knicks have very high chance at getting a top 5 draft pick. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter if the Knicks get a top 3 draft pick or even top 5 or top 6. I mean, if the Knicks get into the position of 5, 6, or 7, that will be good right there for the Knicks, because we got Porzingis coming back. We got Tim Hardaway Jr., Moody Wade, and Ntilikina. Knicks are going to have options at the 5, 6, or 7 draft pick slot, man. I mean, you got Michael Porter Jr. out there at the draft. Maybe Trae Young's going to enter the NBA draft. You got Michael and Miles Bridges. You got those guys coming in. So we already know the big men. There's a lot of big men that's going to come out, like DeAndre Ayton. He's going to probably go first, second, or third. So you got multiple big men again. The Knicks probably don't need a big man because they got Porzingis. So they're probably going to be looking to get a small forward or maybe another guard, man. Because the Knicks should always, you know, they got flexibility now. They got Moody, Trey Burke, Ntilikina. They could afford to actually move one of those pieces. Even though I like each of these guys individually, man. Like individually, I like Ntilikina, man. Ntilikina's defensive rating, his defensive statistics is amazing. He's a top defender in the NBA. So I think he can still improve. So I say keep Ntilikina for a while. And of course, Moody is interesting because Moody has flashes of greatness. You know, he seems great. And then, you know, Trey Burke is just a scorer. Trey Burke can score, but the Knicks have a lot of guards right now, so drafting another guard could be problematic. It depends what the Knicks do with these guards right here. But you got some small forwards. The Knicks definitely need a small forward. You got to move away from Lance Thomas. And you got to remember, we still got Tim Hardaway Jr., who was our former draft pick. And, you know, Tim Hardaway, I think he can get better. I think he still can get better, you know, as long as he keeps developing. But anyways, man, let me know what you think in the comment section, man. And hit me up on Twitter. Knicks, I think they'll have a top 6 draft pick, bro. I mean, based on the schedule of these other teams, and the Knicks don't even have the tiebreakers, and that the fact that the Knicks can't even win, they can't win games, bro. I mean, they can't even beat the Mavericks. Who can they beat? I know they face the Bulls and they face the Magic. Those are the only 2 lottery teams they face. But I feel like the Magic are going to beat the Knicks. And the Bulls, obviously, I think they're going to beat the Knicks. But the Magic especially. People say the Magic are bad. They beat the Bucks and the Magic. Yo, they got multiple people that play hard, man. Jonathan Simmons, Aaron Gordon might be playing, Vucevic, DJ Augustine. The Knicks, I don't know. The Knicks are the Knicks, man. But anyways, man, you can't mess up the tank this year. Leave a like for more. I'm out for now. Peace.